Look at the size of those whoppers. Yeah, how are we, you bunch of rude boys? Welcome back to the channel. I took a short break. I do apologise if you missed me. Of course you missed me. Who wouldn't? I took a break because my training went in the bin, performance-wise. And the reason being, I started to focus more on content than I did actually training. And I pulled myself up on it. I said, Luke, mate, you're a skinny little boy. You're not adding much muscle tissue if you keep playing around with that camera. So I took, what was it, 1-2 weeks of training just to focus on training alone. Everything's dialed in. We're in that rhythm again. So I thought, let's get the camera out. Now, the plan today was to do a classic basic B video of me wearing my little cute mic and just running through the session and talking through as it went on. However, my time management was horrendous. I got a lovely bougie coffee from Starbucks and ended up doing a wholesome beach walk this morning. So my time management was awful because I got to the gym and realised that I only had an hour's train before the place shut. So I had to run through it rapid. This video is going to be pretty much a voiceover, but I've also got a few questions that I got from Instagram that I will run through. This session is diluted down, so I didn't perform all the exercises that are normally programmed. I just picked the ones I really wanted to make sure I didn't miss, essentially. So first exercise, 3 working sets on the lying leg curl. As you can see, I'm holding my face there because I messed up big time. I had a pretty hefty serving of conviction by Conte. When I mean hefty, it was almost 2 scoops by accident. 1 scoop takes my head off, but this sent me into orbit, mate. Code ThickBoy at checkout to get your discount. Conviction's just such a heavy hitter. It was always my go-to, even before I was working with the brand. But it's sound that I am working with the brand. Highly rate the guys, so at checkout, use my code. Much love. When it comes down to this lying leg curl, I'll just go through a few points. I'm thinking about driving my hips hard down into the pad, quads hard down into the pad, keeping my spine in a bit of a hunched over position to fight the urge to go into extension. And I just think about dragging my heels up to my hips. But I was very happy with these working sets, progressed all 3. So first 2 was the stack, and I got a 2 rep progression on the first one, a rep progression on the second, and then on the third it was a resistance increase, and I also beat it by 1 rep. So I was just thinking, let's get it, let's go. Decent start. Let's move into the next exercise. And the next exercise is coming up in 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. There we go, the leg extension. As you can see, I'm looking around thinking, am I really going to do this to myself? And the answer is, yeah, buddy. When it comes down to this leg extension, all I'm thinking about is driving the bottom of my kneecap to the ceiling. How abstract is that? But if you think about it, if you want to get a bit nerdy, the quad attaches like below that knee. So we want to get that as far up as possible to get the quad fully short, fully contracted. And yeah, that's all I was thinking about during my 3 working sets on the leg extension. Leg extensions are brutal. As you can see here, that concentric, the going up part is slowing right down, and it's slowing right down involuntarily. So what I mean by that is, even when I want it to move fast, it moves slowly thanks to a build-up of fatigue. So a slowed contraction velocity occurs, and over time, that causes me to hit that failure point. Which brings me on to my first question. Do you train to failure in all your sessions? Yeah, that's always the goal, mate. I drive all my working sets as close to failure as possible. Now, there is a bit of a downside to this. You accumulate fatigue very quickly, but there is a solution to that, and that is a deload. So every 4 to 6 weeks, when my body's battered, it's crying, I take 4 to 5 days off from the gym completely to address that fatigue, and then I get back into it. You're not going to lose any muscle over that time. It's good to take a break from the gym, both body and mind. So yeah, that's how I combat that. As you can see here again, last few reps of the set, concentric tempo, really starting to slow down now, and that is what we want to see. This bit of kit's got a beautiful resistance profile. I really do love it. And another note, if you're not finishing your leg extension sets by crawling onto the floor, you're missing the mark, lads. As you can see here, legs ain't feeling good, brev. So I take a lovely little sit, try and recover, ready for the next exercise. Now, I don't really want to talk about this one, lads, but I will. Hack squat, no band, because your boy left the band at home, which I was fuming about. Now, I was doing my feeder sets and my left knee was screaming out to me, but I was a bit of a meathead and I thought, nah, we've got a hack squat today. So I put 3 plates on and took it for a working set. My knee wasn't happy at all, so I definitely won't be doing this again. When it comes down to the resistance profile here, it's ugly because it's heavy at the bottom, light at the top, and we're weak at the bottom, strong at the top. So the strength profile is completely different. Sorry, the resistance profile is completely different to the strength profile. So when I have that band, I just allow the two to match. So it's light at the bottom, heavy at the top. This is heavy at the bottom, light at the top. Which there's nothing wrong with that. You're still going to get some silly wheels if you do progress that over time. I just much prefer training with congruent profiles. It feels better on the joint and you can actually achieve a much slower concentric. After the hack, we moved into the leg press. Beautiful pivot press. And I'm going to get into my next question from Instagram again. What is your current stack design? I messaged this guy back saying, mind your damn business. Of course, I'm only playing around. Current stack design is testosterone, masteron, proviron. I'm also using metformin and telmisartan alongside that. They do also bring benefits to the table. Now, I don't recommend using that. It's dangerous. I'm definitely taking years off my life just to get a bit more muscle. Probably not the smartest thing, but I'm committing to it. I was also using Lantus, which is a long-lasting insulin, alongside Nova Rapid, which is a meal coverage insulin. I was using that pre and post, but I found that I ran into some digestive issues, so that is now out and I'm feeling a lot better for it. This moves on nicely to the next cue. Is the plan to complete? What are you completing, mate? Is the plan to compete in 2024? And if so, early or late show? Touchy little topic this one is, my man. Reason being, recently I haven't been happy with my rate of progression or my physique at all, in all honesty, and I think I'm just so far behind. We'll assess close to the time, but if I still haven't made the necessary improvements, I'll just not and wait until I have. When I step on stage, I'm looking to compete, be competitive. I'm not going to do a prep just for the experience, because I know there's way better experiences, like going to a festival with your mate and getting sent into orbit. So we'll see when the time comes. Hopefully I'll make necessary improvements and then it'll be full send from there. Also, it's a bit late to say, but I hope this mic is actually working. I recorded the Bodybuilding Club podcast yesterday with Joe. What a mouthful that is. And the audio on my side was horrendous, so I'm hoping this is a bit better. And apologies if my voice does sound very tired. You are joining me at, 9:30 on a Saturday. The grind is real, lads. Finishing this session up with calf raises. As mentioned at the start, I think I said it, this session was diluted down, so I didn't do adductors, I didn't do the machine ab curl, but I will put those movements in tomorrow's pull session, which will also be recorded. But it's good to be back, mid or late session quad check. How vein? Literally, there's still veins in them. Love to see it. But yeah, I'll be back on YouTube more frequently now, doing these little voiceovers, just because it's much more efficient for me to do, and hopefully you do get something from it. So this is how I set my leg day today. I flew through it. I think it actually only took me like 40 minutes, just back-to-back work. Probably one of the best sessions I've had as well for a while with regards to enjoyment. But remember to like, subscribe, comment if you're feeling dangerous, and I'll see you in the next one.